Hi, I'm Shelly, and I'm one of the booksellers here at Watermark Books and Cafe in Wichita, Kansas, and you're listening to The Book Broadcast. If you're like me, you woke up in April and you realized that you also have a baseball-sized hole in your heart. With the cancellation or delay of opening day on March 26th, I found myself longing to have a lovely moment with baseball. And so I've had to lean on some books. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. How you can discover and reignite your love of baseball during this drought. The first book I want to talk to you about today is called Ballparks. It's Ballparks Then and Now by Eric Enders, and it is a great collection of stadiums across the United States, from Boston to New York to Florida to Kansas City. The pictures in this book are historical and current and everything in between, and the trivia in this book is also spectacular. I especially enjoy all the information about the Green Monster because it's just so iconic. And if you've ever had the opportunity to travel to Boston, you'll know exactly what I mean. I really, truly recommend Ballparks Then and Now because we can't set foot inside of stadiums due to social distancing, but you can take a step into their history. Next, I want to talk to you about Ballpark, Baseball in the American City by Paul Goldberger. This is going to be the book for you to go to if you want to spend this time while you're not watching pitchers on the mound, boning up on trivia. This book is just so full of every single thing you'd ever need to know to really knock one out of the park and go yard on your baseball trivia fans. It has all the information from how baseballs came to be the way that they are and produced the way that they are, to why we went to all wooden bats, to the measurement of the bases on the field. It is spectacular in its breadth of information. Seriously, if you want to become a baseball trivia junkie, now's the time to do it, and this is the book to do it with. Then, if you're not so much interested in the nonfiction aspect of baseball as you are in the sweeping stories of a great game, I highly recommend two other books. The first is The Cactus League by Emily Nemens. Emily Nemens is a former sports writer, and it is so clear in her writing. She gets everything right, and she goes around the horn with this book, featuring voices from managers, pitching coaches, batting coaches, the last chance fielder who's down in the dumps and hoping to make it back in spring training, to even the cleat chasers, the folks who stand outside the stadium hoping to get a glimpse of their favorite players in Scottsdale, Arizona. The other thing I love about this book is that it's truly an exploration of the area around Scottsdale, where the Cactus League is played. What I think is so spectacular about what Emily Nemens does is that she has a naturalistic style, kind of akin to John Steinbeck, and her interim chapters, which are titled First Inning, Second Inning, Third Inning, and so on, really do the setting justice. I highly recommend this book. You're going to love, love, love its story because it does cover every aspect of the game. And it's also just a great story. Nemens has a beautiful way of telling story, and that's what this book does. Then I want to talk to you about the next book, The Resistors by Gish Jen. This book is, if you took the film The Natural and mixed it with George Orwell's novel, Dystopian, 1984, you'd end up with The Resistors by Gish Jen. It is a sweeping story of family, daughters who become, albeit begrudgingly, like their mothers, and the underdog. It is as satisfying as a 6-4-3 double play, or the beauty of a rounded bag and a send-em-home call from a third base coach. I loved everything that Gish Jen was able to put into this book. It's a dystopia for sure, but the heart of it has all the hope that the beginning of every baseball season entails. So you may not be able to cheer on the Royals or the Windsurge right now, but you sure can order yourself some peanuts and a curbside pickup of one of these spectacular books and sit back, relax, and enjoy some masterfully told tales about America's pastime.